The first Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress NDC, Mr. Koku Anyidoho, has been charged with treason and without bail. Mr. Anyidoho has been in the custody of the police since afternoon after allegedly predicting the overthrow of President Akufo-Addo. He was arrested on Tuesday at the Accra International Press Centre, where the NDC was holding a news conference to react to the controversial Ghana-US military cooperation agreement. Mr. Anyidoho is reported to have said in an earlier radio interview that President Akufo-Addo would suffer the fate of his father, who was removed from power in a coup d'etat in 1972. In 1972, Dr. K.A. Busia was Ghana's Premier Minister, while Justice Edward Akufo-Addo was the ceremonial president of the Second Republic. Meanwhile, hundreds of members of the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC converged on the CID headquarters in Accra to protest against the arrest of the party's Deputy General Secretary, Mr. Koku Anyidoho, for allegedly predicting the overthrow of President Akufo-Addo. Mr. Anyidoho was picked up by the police during an NDC news conference at the Accra International Press Centre.
To the Deputy National Communications Director of the NDC, Mr. Fred Agbenyo, they were in a news conference reacting to the Ghana-US military cooperation agreement when the police interrupted and arrested the party's Deputy General Secretary. He explained that upon the intervention of some party executives, the police personnel agreed to allow Mr. Koku Anyidoho to voluntarily report to the CID headquarters. Mr. Anyidoho was reported to have issued an alert for a civilian coup d'etat on Wednesday, March 28, 2018. Shortly after the development, hundreds of party loyalists and some executives converged on the CID headquarters in Accra to demand his immediate release. They included the party's General Secretary, Mr. Asiedu Nketia, and former Attorney General, Madame Betty Moldidrisu. The heavy presence of the NDC supporters slowed down vehicular movement on the Dankwa-Sankara stretch of the Ring Road, but over 50 armed police personnel were deployed to maintain law and order. The leading member of the NDC, Mr. Sylvester Mensah, debunked the assertion that Mr. Anyidoho was staging a coup in the country.
Sighting of a US base in Ghana has generated so much anger, so much passion, so much frustration among a large section of Ghanaians. And you are aware that there's a smoke screen to, as it were, frustrate tomorrow's demonstration. Koku Anyidoho is not a military man. Koku Anyidoho cannot, as it were, stage a military coup, and no civilian stages a military coup. Koku Anyidoho indicated clearly that there was going to be a revolt. He indicated clearly that there was going to be a demonstration, and that demonstration is the revolt that will begin tomorrow. And if you pick him on the basis of that he has made a treasonable statement, I think that we are overstretching the issues.
The NDC's Deputy National Communications Director, Mr. Fred Agbenyo, called for professional handling of the matter by the police.
So as far as we are concerned, the statement he made does not in any way infringe on the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And so we want to see how it goes. Our colleagues are in there asking that it's granted bail. I pray and hope that they allow professionalism to prevail, that nobody sits behind a remote control anybody.
Some aggrieved supporters of the NDC vowed not to leave the premises of the CID headquarters if the Deputy General Secretary, Mr. Koku Anyidoho, was not released.
Well, some executives of the NDC have described the arrest of Koku Anyidoho as unlawful and a ploy to prevent the party from its planned demonstration against the Ghana-US military cooperation agreement.
At about 4 p.m, when GBC 24 got to the police headquarters in Accra, hundreds of supporters of the National Democratic Congress were chanting for the release of the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Mr. Koku Anyidoho, who had been picked up earlier by the police for having allegedly made a treasonable statement during a news conference this afternoon. Some executive members of the party described Mr. Koku Anyidoho's arrest as unlawful and a ploy to prevent the NDC from embarking on a planned demonstration against the Ghana-US military cooperation agreement.
Yesterday I was on the station when they called my brother Koku. Koku was speaking and he said that there will be a civil revoke and that starts from tomorrow. On Wednesday, the other party who was with me on the show, who is Omari Wadie, had told me that they will make sure that he's arrested. He told me that they will arrest Koku. They will show him Omari Wadie. So when he said they will arrest him, today, before they picked him up, I was sitting down with Koku. When he sent me the yesterday's voice, they've gone to take the voice and then Ghana web story. So he sent the two to me. If I show you this, you see the interval before Koku was picked.
What our brother Koku Anyidoho said is nothing that has never been said in this country. Koku Anyidoho, knowing him very well, is a very peaceful person. Our brother Koku Anyidoho is not a person that is very violent. Koku Anyidoho, knowing him very well, will never put this country into dispute or will never put this country in chaos.
When Occupy Ghana, when they got them, they said they were going to occupy the Flagstaff House. Was it time as treason? There was a sitting president, and the current president was in full support of Occupy Ghana. There was a democratically elected president, John Dramani Mahama. They said we were going to occupy the Flagstaff House. They said people should go and take over the offices. Was that treason? If it wasn't treason, why should this thing be a treason? You don't want tension. Then you could have waited. If we had left, then you could have invited him quietly. You want democracy, wait even after tomorrow's demonstration.
Traffic was held up between the Akwa interchange and Dankwa Circle stretch of the Ring Road Central.